Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at something pretty fascinating, something that might honestly reshape how you view your entire professional life. We're going to break down the specific career paths that can dramatically shape your financial future. We're talking about 6 distinct jobs that have, historically, helped people become millionaires. But as we'll see, it's not just about getting a fancy title. It's really about the mechanics of how these specific careers actually generate wealth. Let's get right into it.
Think about this for a second. What if your career choice today could shape your financial future for decades to come? It's a huge question, isn't it? We literally spend so much of our lives working, yet we rarely step back to ask ourselves if the vehicle we've chosen, our career, is actually built to get us to financial independence. I really want to challenge some of your assumptions today about how wealth is actually built in the modern world.
Okay, let's dive into this because there's a massive misconception out there. The myth? Well, the myth is that millionaires are simply born with money, or, they just got incredibly lucky. But the reality, which is completely backed by data, is that many millionaires actually build their wealth through high-value careers combined with smart financial decisions and long-term investing. The job itself isn't some magic wand. Rather, it simply gives these individuals far more opportunities to earn, save, and invest.
Let's kick things off with our first major category, high-value tech and sales. These are careers that scale your income through high-demand skills and pure performance.
Coming in at number 6, we have the software engineer. Think about it. Software powers almost everything we interact with today, from the smartphone in your pocket to global banking systems, and of course, artificial intelligence. Because we rely so heavily on technology, skilled software engineers are in steady demand across virtually every single industry.
And those tech skills, they open doors to multiple, super powerful income streams. Beyond just pulling in strong base salaries, these engineers frequently receive stock compensation from rapidly growing companies. That means they actually own a piece of the pie. Plus, many software engineers eventually take those exact same skills to create their own independent products or side businesses. So they're rarely reliant on just a single fixed paycheck.
Moving on to number 5, the sales professional. Now, I know, the word sales probably brings up some very specific, maybe even negative imagery for a lot of you. The stereotype is just non-stop exhausting cold calls, right? But the reality? Top sales professionals are highly compensated based on one core thing, and that is performance. Instead of being capped by a fixed salary, a lot of them receive uncapped commissions and bonuses. Basically, the better they become at solving actual customer problems, the more they can earn. Plus, along the way, they're actively mastering communication, negotiation, and relationship building, skills that remain absolutely crucial, whether you stay in your career or eventually branch out on your own.
All right, this brings us to our next category, entrepreneurs and investors. Here, we're shifting gears from specialized skills over to scaling systems and leveraging deep financial knowledge.
At number 4, we have the entrepreneur or business owner. Now let's be totally clear here. Building a business is not easy. No way. It comes with inherent uncertainty, a ton of financial risk, and just grueling hard work. Not every business succeeds. But unlike a lot of traditional jobs, it has a unique mechanical advantage when it comes to building wealth.
The really crucial point is exactly how that mechanical advantage works. In a standard job, you're trading one person's time for money. You clock in, you clock out. But business owners, they create products, services, and systems. And this allows them to scale, reaching thousands or literally millions of customers. Entrepreneurship offers the unique ability to grow a business far beyond what one person can physically do in a single day. You're building an entity that can continue expanding over time.
Now we're hitting a major shift in this explainer. Up to this point, we've talked a lot about strong earning potential, bringing in the cash. But the top 3 careers on our list transition us from simply earning a lot of money to the actual mechanics of creating and compounding long-term wealth. Let's see who makes the top 3.
Number 3, the investment professional. This category includes your investment analysts, portfolio managers, financial advisors. We're talking about individuals who dedicate their working lives to understanding exactly how money moves, how businesses operate, and how wealth is generated over decades.
And this brilliantly illustrates that their true superpower actually isn't their salary. It's the compounding financial knowledge they gain every single day on the job. They're spending all their time understanding businesses, analyzing markets, and, absolutely critically, managing risk. They learn firsthand how companies grow and how investments actually work in the real world. Naturally, they apply this insider-level knowledge to invest their own money over time, basically turning their day job into a personal wealth-building engine.
Entering our final tier now,
doctors and business founders. This category is defined by massive barriers to entry, but it rewards all that sacrifice with significant wealth potential.
At number 2, the doctor or medical specialist. The years of intense education and rigorous training are immense, there's no getting around that. But as a result, experienced physicians and medical specialists can earn exceptionally high incomes across many different healthcare fields. But right here is where it gets absolutely critical. For this group, there is a massive lesson. The important lesson isn't simply earning more, it's using that income wisely by avoiding unnecessary lifestyle inflation. For high-income professionals like physicians, earning the money isn't the problem at all. The real challenge is keeping it. Many become wealthy because they consistently save, invest, and actively fight the urge to spend everything they make. High income only creates the opportunity. Smart financial habits are practically mandatory to turn that cash flow into actual, lasting wealth. And that brings us to the number 1 career path on our list. The path that has reliably created many of the world's wealthiest people, the business founder. If you look at the absolute peak of global wealth, this is almost always the title you're going to find.
Let's look at exactly why this path is so incredibly powerful. The standard model is earning from a fixed salary, but founders, they operate entirely differently. They earn from company value and equity ownership. Founders don't just pull cash from a salary. If the business they build grows, the value of the company itself grows. They build significant, generation-changing wealth through equity. Now, yes, most businesses take years of learning, adapting, and struggling to improve. But this ownership model gives entrepreneurs the unique chance to capture the long-term, exponential success of what they've built.
Okay, let's pause for a second, because there's a really crucial caveat to everything we've just covered today. We've looked at 6 amazing careers, right? We've talked about huge earning potentials and massive equity, but what is the real secret behind all of this?
Here it is. None of these jobs automatically make someone a millionaire. Just let that sink in for a moment. You can be a brilliant software engineer, a top-tier surgeon, or even start a company and still end up totally broke. Simply holding one of these prestigious job titles absolutely does not guarantee wealth. In fact, many people in these exact professions never become rich simply because they fail to understand the final piece of the puzzle.
So the crucial point is, what do they actually do with their income? The difference always comes down to these habits, the millionaire habits. They keep learning, they invest consistently rather than spending everything that hits their bank account, they actively manage risk in their lives and their portfolios, and they force themselves to think long-term, totally ignoring short-term gratification. These specific daily habits are the true underlying engine of wealth, regardless of what job title you happen to hold.
It really all comes down to this. A career can create opportunities. Your habits determine what you do with them. Think about it. Earning a high income from a great career is kind of like having a super powerful engine in a car. But if your financial habits are terrible, it's literally like driving that car with no steering wheel. You're going to go really fast, but you'll probably crash. It is financial discipline, making smarter financial decisions over time, that actually gets you safely to your destination.
As we wrap up this explainer, I've got to ask, which of these careers surprised you the most? Was it the multiple income streams of the software engineer? The compounding knowledge of the investment professional? Or maybe the hard truth about doctors and lifestyle inflation? Take a second to reflect on your own path, the opportunities your current career provides, and most importantly, the habits you're building today. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this, and keep making those smart financial decisions.